down my burden, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burden, down by the riverside, to study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. Gonna lay down my sword and shield, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield, down by the riverside, and study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. Study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Study war no more. Study war no more. Study war no more.
So yesterday I was struck by synchronicity of multiple conversations around resistance and surrender, or expansion and contraction. These dualities, right, that create balance. But I was lying on my hammock yesterday afternoon just listening. And what I realized was, between these polar ends, that there's actually an entire spectrum of being, right? That living and loving work together, almost like a chord. One sound made up of multiple sounds, expressed in harmony. And so I was listening to the birds chirp and the rustling of wind in the leaves, and it was creating almost like this natural symphony in perfect harmony. And every now and then there would be this dissonance of an unnatural sound that maybe was a moment of distraction. But because of what we study and what we practice here, I had the awareness that that was only temporary, and that I could choose to bring myself back into harmony. And that led me to this poem entitled Harmony by Graham Russell, who is a singer, songwriter, poet. He happens to be half of the rock band Air Supply. But it goes a little like this. Before the songbirds stir from sleep to grace the air with sound, or bumblebees wake up the iris, treading on her crown, I pause to hold the first and only thought that comes my way, that we shall make a little room for love to fill this day. With so much to remember and so easy to forget, the sunlit leaves, the still tall trees, the sparrow's lone duet. But all around, the signs are posted, there for us to see. If we but look, we're sure to find the way to harmony. So we'll take this into a time of prayer. Holy Heart of the universe, may we enter into this time and space with an open heart and an open mind, knowing that when we focus on love, on true love, we can not only feel that love for ourselves, but for all others in oneness and in perfect harmony. And so it is.
It's an illusion. We come into this life as only human. Skeletons zooming through this life with something to prove. It's true then, we are living and learning a lesson. Maybe it takes lifetimes to get them. Shadows inside us are blessings if we let them. And drop our doubts, release all the shame. Maybe dwell in the stillness, take life as it is. Maybe trust in the journey, fall back into faith. For we are seen, we are loved, we are held, we are safe. We are made of the same thing as stars. Let all the light in your heart shine through. Illuminating the dark begins with the tiniest spark inside of you. Inside of you. Whoa. We are sacred, molded by the hand of the maker, to awaken to the light in our center, to give up all the fighting and surrender. All of creation's a reflection of perfection unfolding. May we soften our need to control it. Let the story of our lives be told. Whoa. And drop our doubt, release all the shame. May we dwell in the stillness, take life as it is. May we trust in the journey, fall back into faith. For we are seen, we are loved, we are held, we are safe. Yeah, we are made of the same thing as stars. Let all the light in your heart shine through. Illuminating the dark begins with the tiniest spark inside of you. Inside of you. Radiant, vibrant being, mind dreaming, a million hearts beating, a million rivers gleaming. Radiant, vibrant being, vibrant mind dreaming, our kindred souls beating on a planet that's awakening. Yeah. Yeah, we are made of the same thing as stars. Let all the light in your heart shine through. Oh, illuminating the dark begins with the tiniest spark inside of you. Inside of you. Oh, we are made
right, this person is here. So Marla, would you come down here, please? Where is she? It's a short quote, so come on.
Come on.
You what? Come here.
When I dropped the card in there, I went to Megan and I said, I don't want them to pick my card. I stuck it in the middle, and she said, you should have put it on the top.
Why didn't you want us to pick your card
I
today?
don't like standing up in front of
But look at here you are. You have a short quote, so you're good.
Well, but I think I have
remember
to
what it
explain my
is?
short quote.
I don't think you do. I
Okay.
think, well, you can.
Okay, well,
Listen to
okay.
this quote.
What if it all works out?
Yeah,
so I listen to podcasts, Mel Robbins. I don't know if anyone's familiar, or maybe there's some who are. And on one of her podcasts, this struck me as, well, this resonated for me because I think myself and many people, we're in our heads about things when things worry us that they're going to go south, right? And so she said this, and I keep it in front of my computer when working, and as a reminder to, what if all works out? Why think the negative? Think about the positive.
what if somebody draws my card? Thank you, Marlon. Don't be afraid. If you don't want to come up, don't put your name on it. But we have these jar cards here. I call them jar cards because they're in a jar. And if you want to leave your favorite quote, please do. If you want to take it home, you probably won't bring it back. So, but if you do take it home, please do bring it back with your favorite quote. I would love to have it in there. I was sitting by my chair, as you know I do, when I Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, thinking and letting whatever it is come to mind that I'll talk about on Sunday. And so I picked up this book, When Things Fall Apart by Pema Chodron. I've talked from this book before, but chapter 19 called my name this week because I got moved by the news. You know, what's happening over in Iran and Gaza and Israel and Russia and Ukraine, and that started to weigh on my mind about what's happening there. And you know, look at us, we're safe and we're here, and so I started thinking about that. So chapter 19, the title of this chapter in Pema Chodron's book is 3 Methods for Working with Chaos. I thought, oh, maybe something's there with that for me. And she starts off by saying, the main point of these methods is to dissolve the dualistic struggle, our habitual tendency to struggle against what's happening to us or in us. Yeah. Because we do that. We have this habit of struggling. Look, that quote plays right into this. We have this habit of struggling. We have this tendency to do that. And it seems perfectly natural, by the way. When I think about bombs and all the drones and everything that's happening, isn't it the natural tendency to struggle against that, to want it not to be that way, to want the people in charge? I'm struggling to not be judgmental about that. The people who are pulling the trigger and sending us into that place. I want them to stop it. I want them to stop it. I want us to stop it. And you feel that? That is struggle. That is struggle. But the truth is, what struggle really is the idea of wanting to control. Right? It's the idea of wanting to control. And that we know intellectually that we don't control anything, and yet we struggle because we want to control. We want it to be different. I wrote down a list. I want it to be different. This is too much for me to handle. I want it to be fixed now. I don't like it. They need to change. He needs this, she needs all that. We want to control it. We don't like what's happening, and that is struggle. That is resistance. And we talked about this in Coffee and Conversation yesterday. We say life is hard because exactly, we don't like it. It's difficult. But listen, life is life. Life is not difficult or hard. Life is life. And it's the feelings that we have about what's happening, the sadness that I have, the anger that I have, the frustration that I have about that, that's causing me to struggle. It's the feelings I have. And so I've been wondering, what if we get more comfortable in our discomfort? What if we allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling about it? Because it's the human condition. It's the human condition to feel what we feel about things that are hurtful, that are sad, that are outrageous. I mean, that's not, it's not, well, we don't need to feel that way. We just need to sit on the cushion and be okay with it. It's like, no, we're going to feel those things because we're human. And we're going to feel those. But I think maybe sometimes I'm afraid to be feeling that. Instead, I want to resist it and want it to be different instead of being at rest in the way I feel. Like, oh, okay. Because listen, life is tragic and beautiful. Life is devastating and amazingly wondrous at the same time. It can be cruel and incredibly tender. All of it. And I'm saying, there's enough room in life for all of that. It's the truth of life. Struggle is a contest you cannot win. That's my definition of struggle. It's a contest you cannot win. And feelings are what it is to be human. Both those things are true. So, struggle. Can we learn to set it aside? Can we learn to set it aside and to be at ease with life as it happens? To feel what we feel, because that's human. That's our human nature. Well, I think it's possible. And I want to share Pema's first idea, her first method for helping us do that. Because I need help. And I'm assuming maybe you could use a little help too. A little help with this. Let me tell you what the first method is. The first method, which she calls no more struggle, is epitomized by Shamantha Vipassana instruction. That is meditation. When we sit down to meditate, whatever arises in our mind, we look at it. We call it thinking, and then we go back to our breath. Again and again, that's what we do. It's a practice of how we stop fighting with ourselves, how we stop struggling with circumstances, emotions, or moods. You see, the purpose of meditation is not to become a great meditator. I've said that before here. The purpose of meditation is to train ourselves to engage in life from a place of least struggle. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Our practice is not about accomplishing anything, not about winning or losing, but about ceasing to struggle and relaxing as it is. That's what meditation is. How many people say, I can't meditate, my mind goes this way and that. I can't do it. It's monkey mind. That's the practice. To sit with that. That is the practice. You have a perfect practice laid out for you. It's perfect in every aspect. It's exactly what it is. Because when we do that, what Pema says is when we do that, that attitude of seeing it for what it is, being brave enough to sit with it while you're in your chair or on your cushion or wherever you are when you meditate, and we can watch it come and watch it go. And we can train our brain, and that attitude spreads into the rest of our life. You see, that's the key, is when we practice that in meditation, then when these things happen, like the war in Gaza, and I'm feeling this way about it, I have learned and I have trained myself how to become more at ease, given that that is life the way it is. not to struggle with our own mind. That's the idea. So that in life, when that comes up, we train again and again, looking at it, seeing it for what it is, without calling it names, without hurling rocks, without averting our eyes. Let all the storings go and let that mind rest where it is. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You get that? That's the idea. That's the idea of meditation. Is to practice, to train my mind while I'm sitting there in the most peaceful, or maybe not peaceful if it's the monkey mind, like watching it come and watching it go. You can do that. If you have monkey mind, that's exactly what's happening. Stuff is coming in and moving out, and something else comes in and moves out, and something else comes in and moves out. And if you just observe that instead of trying not to think, then you're training your mind. You're training yourself. I'm training myself to be present without the struggle. Because then I can be present to the difficulties, I can be present to the feelings that are uncomfortable, but I'm not struggling against them. There's a difference there. There's a difference in being frustrated and struggling against something. Although frustration is one of those things that you pretty much are struggling. But I can feel frustration. I can call it a feeling instead of a struggle. So, all right, what do you do with all that? You know, okay, you got this struggle thing. I recognize that I do. I recognize that I could have this practice of meditation to train my brain to be somewhere else in the struggle. But what else? I felt like this message was like not complete at all to stop there. Plus it's only been 10 minutes. But last week, if you were here, I hauled a bunch of art in from our house. And I had art for all different kinds of art. I had a paint by numbers cats that I did. I had an art painting that I created in Carolyn Faulkner's class. I also had an original piece of art by Deborah Kavanaugh. I had all this different kinds of art, little note cards that we framed, all these kinds of things as a metaphor for you saying your life is art. Just like that art was. And it looked all kinds of different ways. And we said, is there a best piece of art up here? And those of you who know me said, no, Paula, no. There's not a best piece. Don't pick me. Because life is art, and our lives look all different. And I was thinking about that, and I said, even though our life is a unique art, the way we look, what our voice sounds like, the way we hold a fork, how we comb our hair, the clothes we wear, the accomplishments we have, what our skill set is, all those things. But there's a common thread that runs underneath that I think elevates our art, the art that we are. And that is how we treat other people. I think how we treat other people is this thread and this art that is the demonstration of the divine itself, is how we treat other people. How we treat other people. That is the common thread that we have. And I believe that is the spiritual part of life as art. The spiritual part of life as art. How we show up. And not the big things like, oh, I planned a birthday party for my best friend. And I'm talking about everyday life showing up. Every day, because we spend more time in everyday life sort of stuff than we do with the big stuff. The bucket list stuff and the big stuff. Every day, how we treat each other. How we treat each other. Like that is an art that's what puts the panache in there. That's what puts the power in the art that you are, is how you treat somebody else. And all of it matters. Because the connection with what I've talked about is when people are feeling sad, disappointed, grief-stricken, doubtful, depressed, when people are feeling that way, how important is it how we treat them? How important is it how we interact with people? And we never know how people are feeling unless they share it with us. But how important it is to elevate our life as art in how we treat other people. It matters all the time. There was a soul card that we had. Maybe you still have some out there. I love this soul card. It says, "Be the one who encourages others. It will be your greatest work." I believe that. I believe that. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Be the one who encourages others. It will be your greatest work. Because you forget how your presence matters. You forget how important it is to show up. You forget what a text to somebody else means. Shayla isn't here today, but we have a care team for Shayla, and her wife Jackie was gone this week, and I asked several people, check in with Shayla this week. Check in with Shayla. She was overwhelmed by how many people checked in with her. And see, some people showed up, some people sent a text. She doesn't talk on the phone because she can't hear well. I mean, amazing. And maybe if you were one of the ones that sent a text, let me tell you, it made a difference this week. It made a huge difference. Think, well, I just sent a text. No, that's not how it is. To embrace that, how we treat each other as part of the high art of my life, that's what I'm suggesting you might consider. When we engage in the world with no idea of personal gain or security or satisfaction, and we just do it because it's what and how we are and how we treat others, that's God showing up right there, whatever your name for God is. And it's big. It's bigger than you know. Because we all matter, and when we're distraught, and when we're doubtful, and when we're depressed, and when we can't handle it anymore, that makes a difference, that one thing. So, I have a few examples. Last week, after my message last week, JP came up on stage. I was still up here fiddling with this, fiddling with that, getting ready, and JP comes up on stage, and he says to me, Paula, and JP is the son of Reverend Rene Perret, who I met when I first went to Unity Church here in Wilmington in 2001. And Rene and I went there for the first time. I don't remember what he said, but we never stopped going back after that one time. And at Unity Church here is where I learned so much about God and truth and love and so many things. And Reverend Perret passed away last year, and he was, what was he, JP, 90? He was
93.
93. He was 93. And so he was a great mentor in my life. Maybe I never told him that. Sorry, but great mentor in my life. So JP comes up to me and he says this. He says, I want you to know, Dad would really be proud of you. Yeah. And he said, I have found this place and it is my home. And I just want you to know that. Like, that. When, after last Sunday's message as well, I was on Facebook, and one of our members here, Gina, she posted a whole quote from my lesson here. She posted a whole quote, and I read it and I was like, that was me? Yeah. And she was like, yes, and it's a big deal, you know. I mean that. This week I sent an email out and I asked for 3 people to join the care team. And they all said yes. Like, you know, when I ask and you say yes, I feel overjoyed. I feel overjoyed that you found in yourself that place. I also sent an email out and somebody said no. And I was like, I was overjoyed that someone feels comfortable enough to love themselves first. Because sometimes no is the right answer. And if that's the kind of place Spiritual Soul Center is, I am extremely grateful and proud. Extremely grateful and proud.
We love you.
Here's a sweeter idea. So a couple weeks ago, Olivia Shaw said to us when we were out in our house, she's our neighbor, she says, I would really craving a chocolate pie. A week later, Renee makes a chocolate pie. I had to do all the shopping, No, she did some of it. But she made a chocolate pie, like listening to what somebody has to say and then just saying, I'll make a chocolate pie. Like that. That is gone. No, nothing's left. Pie. We had chocolate pie too. I've been doing the renovation to Christine and Bo's condo here in Wilmington, and I have made many trips to Home Depot, or Lowe's. I have made many trips to Lowe's. Many trips to Lowe's, usually stopping at the return desk on the way in to return what I didn't need or what I got wrong, and going to the back to see my friends, Warren in plumbing and Dan in appliances. I mean, every time I would leave, they would say, see you tomorrow. Like, it made it kind of a pleasure almost to go to Lowe's again. You know, it made it almost a pleasure to go to Lowe's again. To change that, to make that into, you know, something that it might not be if I stayed in frustration. At Christmas time, you all were invited to leave a gift for me in the box, or a card or something, and I still carry these 2 cards. The time that you took just to write these few words has been such important to me that I still read them. It's April, right? So this one's from Allison. Are you here today? Allison said, "Thank you for giving me the spiritual home I've been searching for the last 10 plus years. Soul Center gives me solace, inspiration, and uplift weekly that I aspire to take a nugget of and pass on to my family, friends, and patients with love and appreciation." Like, I'll be keeping this for a while longer. You say, well, it's just a note, but it's not. But it's not just a note. I don't know if I can get through this one, Whitney. Said, I look so forward to hearing what you bring all of us every Sunday. I'm not sure you realize how much you have impacted me and my family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You and this community you have had such an integral part in creating is my safe place, my home, my family. And finding this again for my girls is a damn miracle. Please know what a profound gift I know you are. I love you, Whitney and the girls. Now, this is the power you have. This is the power you have with every small thing you do. Every card you write, every email you send, every note, every hug. This is what I'm saying that elevates your art, the art that Whitney is, the art that Allison is, the art of the people that say yes, the art of the people that say no, that love themselves, that love others, all of it. That's the power we have, so that when we are and we feel like we're in the struggle, when we have those feelings, that there are those around us who are in the position to tell us we matter. It is your greatest work. It is your greatest work. We can practice in meditation of training our brain not to go in the struggle. We cannot train it not to be sad or disappointed or hurt. And when we are there, our greatest work is to help each other when we're there. And we can do it. You can do it. You have the power to do that. There's no one who doesn't have that power. No one. Yeah? Yeah. So let's sit in meditation for a minute today. Just take a deep breath in. And settle into what is right this minute. Settle into it. Settle into this place. Settle into the discomfort if that's what you're finding in your life. That life right now is a discomfort. Don't resist it. Let it be. While you're sitting here, let it be. Let yourself feel it. And know that particularly in this place, at Spiritual Soul Center, there are those right beside you who love you, who care about you, who see you, who want you to be the best you, who see the best when you can't, who see you as amazing when you're not quite sure. Let's just sit, just for a little while, breathing in and breathing out. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are being torn apart and they will suffer greatly. No, the river has its destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, and keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. And I say to see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are not to take anything personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Amen.
Dare to be yourself, paint your independent streak, live the life you desire, chase after your dreams. You're in tune with nature, singing harmony with the stars, with spirit as your compass, you always know where you are. Your smile is the medicine that can heal a broken heart. Your tears shown me what it means to truly be strong. Your love is like the comfort of a mother's loving arms. Your life is a melody I've been singing along. Oh. The drummer of your heart keeps a steady beat. The earth below you rises up to meet your feet. Stand up against injustice when no one else will speak. You can change the world when you take the lead. Your smile is the medicine that can heal a broken heart. Your tears have shown me what it means to truly be strong. Your love is like the comfort of a mother's loving arms. Your life is a melody that I've been singing along. You are the spirit that flows in the story unfolding, always growing. We are the river that flows in a love that's exploding, always flowing. We are the rhythm that goes in a song that's composing, always soaring. Your smile is the medicine that can heal a broken heart. Your tears have shown me what it means to truly be strong. Your love is like the comfort of a mother's loving arms. Your life is a melody. Oh, your smile is that medicine that can heal a broken heart. Tears have shown me what it means to truly be strong. Your love is like the comfort of a mother's loving arms. Your life is a melody and I've been singing along. Oh, your life is a melody and I've been singing along. Oh, your life is a melody I've been singing along. Oh,
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. Till next time.